Alright, guys, here we are, hole 8 of the Master's Guide. Gonna be our first look at this hole. Now let's see what we get. Oh, it looks like we got headwind. Interesting. So what I'll typically do is hop it over to this other side and then bring things like machete or Houdini. However, with winds like this, you're gonna want to stay away from that because you're gonna need to drive onto this side. And then that second shot is going to be a bit tougher as a result. So there's kind of two different ways that you can go about doing this. You can bring Guardian, or you can go with like a Cataclysm, a little bit more power. And it's kind of like split, as to which one's kind of, better or whatever. So, really tough to kind of figure out what you want to do. I'm probably gonna do one of each. So with this one, maybe I'm going to, and another thing you might want to think about is maybe like a dead ball. So what that'll do is it'll keep you in range to make sure that you don't get outside somewhere. And you can see that we're just going to try to essentially just bump this up here. Kind of land right around here. I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 9-ish rings here. In this case. So you can see that we're just bumping this up here. Just trying to get it up as close as we can. And the power 4 is just going to give us just a little bit more range to make sure that we can get up here to the land zone that I wanted. So I wanted to try to make sure that I can land up on this fairway with the Guardian. It's not so, what you'll want to do a bump shot with a Cataclysm. So you'll want to play this rough bump, and you'll just try to get this wind effect mastered more so than anything. So, I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood, very close to max, so five, a little bit more than 5 rings in this situation. Looks like he's even going into power. Yeah, that looks pretty decent right there. I'm assuming it'll probably, catch that rough bump and just kind of bump up there. That's what you'll want to do more or less. And I will try to walk you through that shot. However, I wanted to at least kind of go over this alternative option. And I want to see if I can, get in range to do this. I've never really had the opportunity to try to go at this. This is more or less what I'm going to try to do, which is, essentially land on this fairway and kind of backspin it. So kind of like this, I'm thinking. I might just come off that backspin just a little bit. More or less, I'm going to try to, I'm thinking somewhere in here. Just going to max this sucker out. And you can see, it gives you chance. Now, the one thing that you got to protect against, I didn't know if it was going to land on the fairway or the top. You can see it was very close. It was very close to being on the fairway. If it hits the fairway, the extra backspin you put on may cause the ball to come back off the green. So that's why I took off some of that backspin. However, you can see that I did get up to the top of that surface there. If I do get up to that flat part onto the green, it changes the ball guide, and you can see that it didn't come back as much. So if I land it up there, I'm going to need full backspin. If I don't land it up there, I need to make sure that I come off of that so it doesn't roll all the way back down the hill into the sand. So, I did back off just a little bit there. I used about 8 bars as opposed to the full 9. However, if I would have known that it was going to land up onto that green, obviously, so it's all about distance control, knowing with where you are, because if you get it up onto that green, you could probably, with full crank backspin, get that back to the hole for a backdoor hole out. So something to be thinking about because it is going to be a hard shot to make no matter what you do. So good luck there. I'll see you guys on 9.